Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And as you can hear, I've got a little bit of my voice back. I didn't think I would this morning, actually. As last night, all night long, I was coughing and tossing and turning. So I've got to stop that coughing and the turning. Anyway, it's all sounding a little better. And again, we're making some inroads to our fans across the pond. I have just received this for broadcast today. What do you think? It's a bit jumpy. We haven't even had time to edit it properly yet. Let's have a little look.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Biden, and I am the President of the United States of America. I'm like some imposter with a blonde comb over who thinks she's going to beat me at the election.
Oh, yeah.
I mean election.
Election.
I haven't had an election for quite a while, so I'm looking forward to it in November. But I just wanted to thank all the subscribers of Ustream for their support.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it now.
I bet you are.
I love watching Ustream Jimmy Davro and Freddie Davidson. Fatty Brown and the guy with the pilot's goggles, and I just love that talented blonde lady. Vicky Slash. I also like the guy, Mike Osmond, who does Trump. He is better than Trump.
Yeah, he is.
Anybody is better than Trump. Anyway, thanks to Ustream. You guys make me laugh. I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Matt Tron is waiting.
Oh?
God bless Tim Davidson and all his team.
It's fantastic endorsement, but you think the president, would be able to read the autocue a little better. I'm Jim Davidson, and I think you'll find it's Matron, not Matron, but there you go. Thank you. What an endorsement we are having here. It's been a bit of a week, actually. So we've had Donald Trump. Well, who's coming up next? I don't know. Let's see who's going to send another endorsement of the fabulous Ustream. Don't forget, you can join Ustream. Please do help me get this station up to where we can spend a lot of money and try and grab control of our country once again. Talking of grabbing control, just to let you all know that I put together a quiz night in my local pub. I've got a local pub. It's a beautiful restaurant, actually. Sort of pubby restaurant. It's really good. It's in the Hamble. And I host it, and it's just not like a quiz night. There's people dancing on the table. It is bedlam. Everyone gets pissed. It's great. And the next ones, I'm doing 3 more. They're at the King and Queen in the Hamble. It's actually called Hamble Le Rice, and the dates for that are October 21st, the 28th, and November the 4th. You can phone up and book yourself a table. See if you can get a table of 4. That's normally the team. But if you're just a 2, you get a handicap thing, it's okay. And the number is 02380 454 247. So 02380 454 247. Wouldn't it be great if we could get Mr. President and Mr. Next President to come on? By the way, here's a question. Are we any closer to the police charging those guys that were fighting with them at Manchester Airport? Manchester police have been typically silent, haven't they? There seems to be some sort of silence policy with police forces that they are reluctant to tell you it was a person who was the perpetrator of a crime or someone visiting our shores from other countries and getting up to bad things and decide to stay here and keep doing them. They don't tell you that, do they? No, they don't want to cause problems. Meanwhile, right, in court, this is going on now. Listen to this shocking story. A mother of 3 in her 30s, 37 I think she was, has been, as described by the tabloids, raped to death. Now, that's a bit of clickbait, isn't it? That's a bit of headline matter, but the truth is this girl was found dead. Apparently she'd been out drinking all night. Well, she'd been out drinking, and for some reason went to Southall Park. You know Southall? You know Southall in West London? Well, as soon as I saw that address and a girl that had been sexually assaulted and now died, I knew what the next line of the narrative would be. So here we go. It was the 17th of July, 2021. She was found in the early hours of the morning, and people not knowing how she was killed or how she died. It turns out that CCTV showed us the grisly events, and it resulted in the arrest of a homeless person. Mohammed Lido. Oh dear. The case is continuing, but I won't say no more. I can say this chap has pleaded not guilty to sexual things and to manslaughter. But of course the The defence will be saying she was drinking, she was taking this, she was doing this. You know, people say, don't they, not about this case, you know, oh, well, if you're dressed like that, you're asking for it. What type of place do we live where people get assaulted if you're a female and you walk past anywhere? Do you know what? There's a bloke called Steiner. Okay, he's a paratrooper, hardest looking fucking man ever. And he said he was walking through Canary Wharf the other night and his eyes were everywhere. We're frightened to death to walk anywhere. And just because you're a young lady, well, first of all, if you're a young lady, don't fucking go out on your own. Don't do it. This is what's happening to our country and the police don't seem to do fucking anything. This case in particular is ongoing, so I'll say no more. Eh? Apart from, are we any closer to finding the acid attacker? You know? You've got to ask the question, do the police ever convict anybody? Can they fucking catch anyone? Can detectives detect? Can the police police? Oh, God, I'd love to be Home Secretary or Prime Minister. Just a week, that'd do it. You know, what? I would totally reform the police force. In fact, I'd get rid of it and I'd start again. Firstly, I would scrap the fact that you have to have a degree to be a policeman. Police officer. No, you don't. You just have to have a truncheon and a stun gun and some handcuffs. And you have to look like a fucking policeman. You'd have to look like a law enforcement officer rather than some kid who's dressed up going to a fancy dress party as a copper. Good God. And do you know what? I would train the police to stop crime. That's it. Stop crime. And to catch the people who commit it. That ain't hard, is it? Well, to do that, you've got to get more police on the streets. You've got to, and not just with radar guns pointing at motorists who are hurrying up to get to work in case they get the sack because they've got no fucking money. Get the old bill on the streets and arrest the bad guys. You can have a little practice, can't you? Start arresting people on those motor scooters or mopeds or, you know, e-bikes going around dressed in black like ninjas, nicking fucking people's handbag stuff, this, that, throwing acid at people. You've got to stop dancing with people at festivals. I tell you what, though, I think the police have got to earn the respect of the young people in this country. I mean, really young people. The young people think they can get away with murder because their parents are complete fucking morons. Or dad has long gone. What chance has a kid got? With an underclass mum dressed in carpet slippers, still in her pyjamas and a fag on the way to drop a kid off at school. Unbelievable. Well, on a different subject, and now later on Ustream, a bit later, I'll be talking about the sinking of that super yacht off the coast of Sicily. Now, I must be careful as there is an inquiry going on, but I having got my yachtmaster's captain certificate, God knows how I got it, but I did. I thought I'd give you my 2 penneth over on Ustream, okay? And a story that made me laugh today was about Laura Kuenssberg. Can you still say that name? Berg? Yeah, anyway, her and our minders at the BBC arranged to interview Boris Johnson. Yes, they're going to interview dear old Boris about his time in number 10. However, it's been cancelled. Guess what? Because of a serious fuck-up by Kuenssberg. Now, here's how it works. Before every interview, all the production team send notes to one another. They all do their research, ask him this, ask him that. And you get little notes of what you're going to ask the victim. And you can be very frank with one another. You can say, ask him how he's that fat. How's he got so many women when he's that fucking ugly? You know what I mean? How big's his dick? You do all that, right? However, Kuenssberg and a fucking bunch of wallies, instead of sending the briefing notes to one another, they sent them to Boris. Oh, my God. I can imagine him reading the email. I don't do the impression of him. You need Mike Osmond for that. Yeah, this is what it said. Don't forget to ask him what cake it was. Ask him if he thought that the government's chief medical officer, Chris Whitty, is a tit. Ask him if Chris Whitty looked like he was one of those kids that got bashed up and bullied at school. Does he blame himself for the lockdown? And ask him this, when he nearly died in hospital of COVID, was he making it up? That's the type of thing that people ask one another. So anyway, it's been cancelled now. And... you know, it just makes me laugh. I don't like that Kuenssberg girl, do you? She's about as charming as a re-emergence of COVID, isn't she? And no, I haven't got the... I did a similar thing to that once, you know. I was looking at this news item of how Katie Price is the Forces champion. Well, I was running a Forces charity at the time called the British Forces Foundation. And she said she'd been here and been there. She hadn't. She'd popped it, you know. Not been to war, really. So I called her agent. I emailed the agent, would Katie Price like to come to, where was it? Bosnia, to entertain the troops, blah, blah, blah. It's on the 28th of February. We leave Bryce Norton at 11 o'clock in the morning. She said, is there any money in it? I said, well, if you want everyone to know that Katie Price charges money to entertain people that are fighting a peacekeeping role in the Balkans. Oh, yeah, I understand. Can we film it? I said, no. What's the date? 28th of Feb, 11 o'clock, Bryce Norton. Well, she is doing a photo shoot that morning. Can she get the afternoon flight? What? So I forwarded that to my mate at the British Forces Foundation. Check out the bimbo answer from Katie Price's agent. And I fucking sent it to Katie Price's agent. I wanted to try and grab it off the screen. Oh my God, what a panic. So I got the email back, right? I'm not a moron, nor is Katie Price. Get someone else to entertain your fucking troops. Oh well, you want to hear the rest of that story? Come over now to Ustream and hear me talk. I tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that moaning bird on Strictly Come Dancing. Eh? For fuck's sake. Okay, I'll see you over there. Come now, ustream.com. Join up for a free 7-day trial. You'll stick with us. Don't you worry about that.
On October the 7th, 2023, Hamas terrorists broke through the Israeli border and slaughtered more than 1,100 people. Former Royal Engineer Billy McLeod, MBE, travelled to Israel in the aftermath of the atrocity. How are those men and women?
I think they've got a lot of trouble ahead in the future.
How's it changed you, Billy, being over there?
It's changed me internally because I believe that I know how I would react if this happened to me.
When you see scenes like that, these were animals, weren't they?
Actually, I think that's quite kind to them, if I'm honest. You can't even explain the atrocities they committed.
Is this World War III?